it's about who is controlling the narrative. It's got to be all Black Lives Matter. And what's happened is that because I even challenged it, because I even questioned and warned people,
Terry,
I became sick. Like if I told you to wear a mask,
but Terry,
they want to kick you out.
You're a high-profile person. You're writing things out there. You know you're going to get backlash. You know people are going to respond to what you're saying on Twitter. So I don't think you should be surprised by that. I have a skin as tough as an armadillo because of what I do, and I think maybe you should adapt that.
Ah, yes. You gotta love Don Lemon telling Terry Crews to toughen up. You think that he would tell that to his face when no one's around? Yeah, me neither. So what is the CNN anchor's response when Terry Crews makes a really good point? Well, he doesn't really respond, he just tells him to toughen up. And you don't tell Terry Crews to toughen up when you're a news anchor sitting in a fancy suit. In today's video, I want to shine a light on how the US mainstream media is dividing its own people by race and how they are profiting from it. I know you guys know about it, but at this point it's become so blatant that I want to find a couple of videos and take you through exactly what it is I mean. The longest one is about the universally loved actor Terry Crews, who's on CNN talking about Black Lives Matter. And I just want to say what's really ugly about this dividing people by race is that it's being done on purpose. So today we're gonna shine a light on it, and when you shine light on darkness, the darkness gets defeated. A great way you can help defeat the racial divide is to share this video that aims to expose how the mainstream media divides us. All of that coming up right after the intro. Alright, so listen to this, guys. This is the tweet that got Terry Crews in trouble. And all it says is, are all white people bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my decision to unite with good people, no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Given the number of threats against this decision, I also decide to die on this hill. So an all-around good statement, right? Well, not according to CNN. They invited him on to do an interview at CNN, but every time he made a good point, they pretty much just interrupted him. Crews is only stating things that most reasonable people believe in, but the CNN anchor is really quick to interrupt him every time he speaks for more than 5 seconds.
And you're talking about even with the Atlanta child murders, there were 28 kids who died in 2 years. You're talking about a month, and you have 9 black kids, and the Black Lives Matter movement has said nothing about this.
What does that have to do with equality, though, Terry? I don't understand what that has to do with equality, because listen, there's crime. There are people in those communities those people aren't just being nonchalant about gun violence. I lived in Chicago. There are many people who are working in those communities.
As soon as he begins to criticize some of the Black Lives Matter's leadership's statements, he is cut off. At this point, they're already through half of the interview, but it doesn't get any better as we move along.
And then this is what I'm saying. When I look at this whole thing about, it's about who is controlling the narrative. It's got to be all Black Lives Matter. And what's happened is that because I even challenged it, because I even questioned and warned people,
Terry,
I became sick. Like if I told you to wear a mask,
Terry,
they want to kick you out.
You're a high-profile person. You're writing things out there. You know you're going to get backlash. You know people are going to respond to what you're saying on Twitter.
All right, so Don Lemon goes on to lecture Crews on what Black Lives Matter really is for 2 full minutes before he lets Crews have 5 seconds to say goodbye. So the good thing is that most people are seeing through this. Take a look at the dislikes and the likes. 22,000 dislikes to only 8,000 likes. People are not as dumb as CNN think they are. I won't go on to show you the comment section because they have a few choice words that YouTube won't let me show you. But let's just say that it's pretty brutal. What's really frustrating about this is that as soon as Crews calls for individual responsibility, he is immediately shut down. And as soon as he calls the Black Lives Matter leadership statements into question, he is also shut down. Now, why would you do that when you're just an unbiased news anchor? Could it be that CNN has its own agenda that it wants to push through instead of letting someone speak? Might be. Alright, so the second video I want to show you is a woman drawing a gun on another woman, but I want you to pay attention to how it's being presented here.
A white husband and a wife face felony assault charges after she was caught on video pointing a gun at a black woman during an argument.
Get away. She got the gun on me. He about to hit me with the car. Call him. I'm telling. Get the
Notice how they put the emphasis on the race of the two people. They want it to be a white woman attacking a black woman. What's even worse is that CBS had the full video and they chose not to show what led up to this situation, which might explain why the woman would pull a gun on the other woman. They knew that the woman drawing her gun had just been threatened by the other woman who had bashed their car and threatened her and her husband of bodily harm. So here's what actually led up to the confrontation.
Her husband were charged.
I want you to do something.
She's very ignorant.
What happened? The mom and daughters, angry at the couple, accusing them of bumping into one of the daughters. Charges of racism were being yelled. It seems like before pulling the gun, the woman tried to de-escalate the situation.
I care
Why
about
did you say
you,
sorry?
and I'm sorry if you've
Why
had an
did you say
incident
sorry?
that has made
If you
someone
bumped
make
into
you
her,
feel
why
like
did you
that.
say?
Then threats were made towards the woman's husband.
Yeah, I said it. You say something, I'll beat your white too.
As the couple tried to back up their van, there are thumps from the back of the van.
I'll beat your
And that's when the woman gets out and pulls her gun.
You gonna shoot me?
Get the away.
Oh.
So now you know what led up to the situation. So you can still debate whether or not you think it's a good idea to pull out a gun in this situation. That's an open question. It's not a yes or a no answer. But what's terrible here is that CBS had the full tape. They only released this part of it because it pays better to let people be divided on racial issues rather than actually healing the country. It's really a sad thing when the news media has become so politicized that it cares more about supporting a certain point of view instead of actually just reporting on the news. Furthermore, it gives people an image of the world around them that just isn't true. The vast majority of people are not racists. They're just like you. They just want to live a good, healthy, peaceful life and have a fair chance at success and happiness. But that sure is difficult when you have your media, your politicians, and your tech giants actively fighting against those ideas and values. Alright guys, remember to subscribe to my channel and share this video on your social media. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.